So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to go get some people to interview and ask them questions about horror movies, horror trailers, and get a rough idea on what they like about it. Then I'll be using those ideas and adapt it to my trailer, and then I can get a good narrative, a good plot, and a good idea of what I would like my trailer to be. Yeah, so what was the latest horror movie you've watched, or the best horror movie you watched, and what did you find good about it?
Okay, so I recently watched The Purge. I thought it was quite good, but I prefer supernatural horror movies like The Conjuring because I like the plot and I find it more interesting how they use revenge.
The latest one, probably Annabelle. I like the fact that it's like Chucky Part 2. Chucky, that little baby, the scary thing. It used to like scare me when I was little. So then, like seeing the girl version, I thought like woman power and all that. Yeah. Is that kind of fun and stuff.
So you like the fact that when there's a girl as the spirit or the devil, makes it a lot more interesting, do you think?
Yeah, I think like gender roles and that. I don't know. It's like interesting, isn't it? Like if you're like scared of one thing and then you see it being made again. Yeah. When you understand it. Yeah. Because you're older than that.
Cool.
I liked Insidious because of all the. I actually quite like the 3D effects in it. I like the storyline. It's strange because in normal horror movies you don't get people going into a coma and you have to go and save them. Yeah. So I quite like that.
So you kind of like the storyline of it.
Yeah.
So for me personally, it would be 28 Days Later because I love the way that it's been directed and it really brings the audience to their knees because of how surreal it all looks and all the details that go into the actual film.
So like the affecting and how the editing
like especially the special effects. You know, they've done it in a serious amount of detail, especially with all the flesh that they do, and just the way that the actors, not even that, the extras, do all their body language and all their different mannerisms and whatnot.
Cool. Cheers. So in terms of horror movies, what do you find scary? Like what makes you jump?
When it's like a build up to the suspense.
Okay.
Stuff you're not expecting, and it's just like it just comes out with something you're not expecting, and it goes all dark. And it's like bang. And but like even when you're expecting it, it's like really scary sort of thing. It makes you jump.
Okay, cool.
I find it scary when it's like really quiet and then they just jump out of nowhere.
Alright, yeah, so you like the little suspense when it's quiet for a while and there's not really much sound and then there's like a loud bang.
Yeah, because you're expecting it but you're not at the same time.
Okay, cool.
For me, it's usually like those faces that get stuck in your mind. Okay. And then like if the lights turn off and stuff, that's what you can relate to. So like when I'm like home alone and stuff, like I walk upstairs and then I don't know, I look in the mirror and then like they have a lot of mirror scenes.
The memorable faces.
Yeah, the faces. I just
when
see
the light is quite low.
Yeah, you see those faces.
I find it particularly scary when the protagonist is a female, and she gets drawn to point of interest. Say if it could be like a door and there's like blood smeared all on the floor and she's like, and she takes the time going towards it because she doesn't know whether it's safe or not, and it then draws the audience to that specific object for them to then lean up the seat and be like, get scared about it.
Cool. So where do you think would be a scary location for a horror movie?
For me, I'd probably say like a house, like a trapped like environment where you're like stuck, because you can relate to it and like you feel like you're in the movie, because like you're trapped there. Like, you get me? Because like if you're watching a movie and like something happens in the kitchen, you look back at your kitchen and you get kind of scared and stuff.
Like when it's to do with church or like linked into religion. So a lot of movies that I've watched, it's got like priests and stuff, and it's.
So when you talk to priests and into religion.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
So it's like scary because it's like, does this really go on? Sort of.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I think like in a forest and if it's dark because everything will look the same and you wouldn't know like what's around the corner, so it'd be quite scary.
Okay. Right. So when it comes to the horror movies, when it comes to the endings, what do you rather prefer, a happy ending or a sad ending?
To be honest with you, it kind of like depends on what you want really. From like if you go cinema and stuff, you'd prefer like a sadder ending because you're paying for that scary thrill. You want to be kind of scared because obviously that's what you're paying for. But when you're at home, you probably want a happier ending because like it kind of scars you. So like usually after a horror movie, I watch like happier videos to like, calm down. So like, if I know there's like kind of normal stuff going on, I won't feel as scared.
Alright, cool.
Sad, but with cliffhangers. It's more interesting, and then you think, why is there going to be another one? It just keeps you hooked.
It keeps you hooked and keeps you interesting. Alright, cool.
I prefer when it's a sad ending because most of the horror movies are happy endings, so it makes it a bit different and unique.
All right, yeah. So sometimes do you think when there's a sad ending, they could leave it in a cliffhanger, so there could be a next one? Do you
Yeah,
worry
because
about
then
that?
it's like there's more storyline, like more to come in the same movie, which
All
is
right,
good.
cool.
See, now, I would rather prefer a happy ending, because then it might possibly leave room for a sequel, whereas a sad ending would really cut the film off quite short, you know, and you can't really build anything upon that.
Okay, alright, cool. Right, so when it comes to trailers, when you're watching the horror trailer, what interests you? Like, what makes you, when you watch it, what makes you think, yeah, I want to go watch this in cinema?
It's just like, I look for the plot mostly, but like my favourite ones, you know, when it goes like from being really happy at the start and then everything just changes. And it's
Yeah,
like,
so it changes, it shows you the movie from the happy to the sad, and it shows you all that.
And then the journey in the middle.
The journey in the middle.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Alright, cheers for that.
I think when I'm watching a trailer, it's mainly the first bit where it's like, it introduces the characters, and especially if you know the character in the movie and you know they've done movies before, especially when the person looks so innocent but actually they're going to be like an absolute devil.
Yeah. Okay.
So it depends on the kind of person in the movie and what they look like.
Okay.
All you really want from a horror movie is the adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
So the trailer, if it kind of like gains you up, so like
Yeah.
the sound effects in the back and like the visual, like the.
Alright, okay, so what would you like, prefer, like some silence and some fast-paced music, or like a mixture of both? What
A
do you
mixture
think?
of both, like the silence kind of like builds up the suspense and stuff.
Yeah.
And then when it's like fast paced, it kind of makes you
Give that a bit of adrenaline, yeah?
and gives you up.
Cheers.
So if a trailer is like quite tense and there's a lot going on, and then they have like a cliffhanger which makes you want to know what's going on next, that makes me want to go and watch one.
Alright, okay, cool.